Ed, in the days when I was 14 years in this lifetime, at some point my granddad showed me, either physically, Ed, or in the astral, I cannot remember now, a photograph of him standing in front of a very beautiful, huge, purple, purple shaded brown rock, Ed. And that was in front of a cave. And I cannot remember, Ed, did he say it was the Andalusian mountains or the Ural mountains? I really cannot remember now. So it was one of those. Anyhow, Ed. So in a moment of distress recently, I found myself standing there at that rock. Maybe I went looking for my granddad. And instead, what I found in the rock was a demon. A demon had occupied the rock the way that both angels and demons occupy human bodies. Or the rock was him, Ed, I don't know. He might have generated it, I don't know. So anyhow, Ed, I began to speak to this demon, and I'm calling him Demon Ed because he wasn't of the frequency of angelic entities that I know, and neither was it a human soul. So I have all my life categorized everything else as demons. So that's why I'm saying demon. And I knew, Ed, in my inner knowing, that his name was Balthazar. And I had such a magnetic, strong connection, Ed, that I could not, despite wanting to, Ed, I don't want to speak to demons. But despite that, Ed, I still had a magnetic connection. And so I stayed and I spoke. I spoke with him. This was, Ed, like 2 or 3 weeks ago what started. And Ed, I can't tell you, my whole way of seeing things has changed, Ed, because of speaking with him. A lot of stuff, Ed, that I didn't know and I wasn't clear about demons, angels, humans, things happening in the world. Why are we in this matrix? How do we get out of here? And even stuff, Ed, like why am I physically apart from you? And why is there so much cruelty happening to us? At the same time, Ed, as so much divine revelation and the presence of God, why does God allow these things in the first place? How do we even land up in this situation in the first place? That sort of thing, Ed. I had these things in my heart, Ed, and I was able to ask Balthazar, Ed. Because we have that connection, Ed, somehow from whatever previous times. And the thing is, Ed, that we met in a timeless time and communicated with me while I'm under the progression of time, which itself, Ed, is something that's just really changed my life and my thinking. Anyhow, Ed, so I typed up as much of the conversation that I could, Ed, type up, and I've published it as a book. It's not a long read, Ed, but it's a very deep and intense one, I feel. Anyhow, so I've published that, Ed.